and session. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai. Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hemande. Okay. So we have been discussing from chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Hope all of you have your copies of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Everybody has? Okay, good. So we have begun this chapter with Lord Krishna directly speaking. Last chapter, 9th chapter, was called the most confidential knowledge, Param Guhya Gyan. So this chapter, Krishna is continuing that I am going to speak much more confidential to you now. Because Krishna wanted Arjuna's more advancement in devotion. This is how the relationship between Krishna and his devotees is. Krishna wants to see his devotees to be more and more happy by knowing about Krishna. And devotees also want to know more and more about Krishna, and that will give pleasure to devotees as well as Krishna. Right? That's how it is. It's a reciprocal way of relationship between Krishna and devotees. We'll see this relationship in today's discussion also. So Krishna says, I'm going to speak to you more aspects of my existence, my personality, which will give you great joy, Arjuna. And he goes on to reveal the secrets that the whole existence is come about from me. Everybody, everything is emanating from me. The rishis, the devatas, and whatever you see is all because of my existence. And Krishna says, every quality what you see in the material world, known, unknown, every aspect of your personality is from me, Krishna says. So like this, Krishna goes on to explain many wonderful aspects. And from verse number 8 to 11, he speaks what is known as Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, the beginning verses was speaking sort of to Arjuna about Krishna's supreme position. Krishna is the origin of everything. Krishna is going to summarize all the things what he has spoken now in chapter and what he's going to speak further in these 4 verses known as Chatushloki Gita, Bhagavad Gita. They're also known as, according to Prabhupada, 4 essential verses. What are these verses? Verse number 8 says, Aham sarvasya sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Krishna says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Right? Somebody may ask, where from this world is coming about? What is the origin of this world? What is the origin of these things around us? Krishna says, I am the source, I am the origin. Now, there is similar 4 slokas in the Bhagavatam, known as Chatushloki Bhagavata, spoken by Krishna to Brahma. So he says in the first verse there, Aham evasav evagre. Before creation I was there, during creation I am there, after annihilation I am there. Which means Krishna is ever existing. So like this, there is further explanation of these verses in other scriptures, but this is something very basic for us to understand. Krishna is the origin of everything and anything we see in this creation. And Krishna says, when you understand this, and I am the source, then the next natural consequence will be iti matva bhajante mam. When you know this perfectly, you will engage in my devotional service. and worship me with all your heart. Bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Bhava samanvita means with full heart you are going to worship me. And how is that worship going to be? In verse 9, Krishna says, Machchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Like this, when devotees know that I am the source of everything, I am actually, everything is resting on me, there is nothing beyond me, then they engage in my glorification. And they always keep me in their hearts, my devotees, and their life is completely surrendered to me, and they're always engaged in discussing my glories. And by doing this, they get great satisfaction. Which means Krishna is describing the symptoms of his devotees. So as I told you, 8th verse is talking about Sambandha Jnana. What is this world around me? Who am I? So this world is from Krishna. I am from Krishna. I am energy of Krishna. This world is also energy of Krishna. And what is my relationship? We are eternally connected as part and parcel to Krishna. Part and parcel means I am a servant of the whole. I have supposed to serve the whole. Like my hands are part and parcel of my body. Hands are supposed to serve my body. So the next verse is the Sambandha Jnana. Sambandha Jnana means they are constantly engaged in service of Krishna by glorifying him, by taking pleasure in discussing topics about Krishna, right? Then verse number 10 and 11 speaks about the Prayojana Jnana. Because we are connected to Krishna, and devotees' only duty or rather their only service is to just engage in devotional service to Krishna. What is the Prayojana? Prayojana is Krishna also reciprocates, and with their sincere devotion, whatever they're doing, whatever they're able to do, even though they may not be materially qualified, even though from the material point of view they may not be intelligent enough, but Krishna, when he sees that the devotee is sincerely engaged, tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. The only qualification of a devotee is that he engages himself in devotional service to Krishna with love and devotion. That's all. He should perform that work with full sincerity. That is good enough. Just like in the Ramayana, we have this nice, wonderful incident when the bridge, Setu, Rama Setu was being constructed. All the different creatures were all helping to build the Rama Setu. The big Vanaras were holding big boulders and putting in the ocean. Whereas there was a small squirrel, Gilhari, it was putting some small pebbles, whatever strength it was also rendering service. So it seems that Hanuman was little making fun of this. So what you can do with small small pebbles, how much it will help. So when Lord Rama heard this or saw this, he was telling, no, see, everybody has their own capacity with regard to doing their service. That entity, that animal is doing its best. It is doing its full sincerity. It's like telling, Prabhupada gave one more nice example in this context. Many times people come to Vrindavan, and when they come to Vrindavan, in front of Krishna, the big hundi is kept. In hundi, I'm going to put, that is my, but for my family, keep 1 crore in bank balance. So Krishna is saying, how much you have given. What is required to maintain your family? Okay, you keep that much, not more than that. Otherwise, simply it will be in some other, other works which is not relevant for your devotional service. Right? So Krishna understands what is your sincerity. Sincerity means with heart what you want to give. Sincerely what you want to give. It's called, that's why Krishna is known as Bhavagrahi Janardana. So when you are sincerely offering service, then Krishna reciprocates by giving you direction from within how to come back to him. Because actually we belong to him. So Krishna says in 11th verse, like this, when the devotees engage in sincere service, I dwelling in their hearts as Paramatma, out of compassion, Tesham Evanu Kampartham, I destroy the ignorance from their hearts. Aham Ajnanajam Tamaha. Nashayami Atma Bhavasto. The shining lamp of knowledge, I destroy the darkness born of ignorance, which means devotee is not having any shortage of directions, what to do, how to do, because Lord as Paramatma is guiding him constantly. Or through the instructions of pure devotees, if he is following a pure devotee, spiritual master, he guides. The Lord directs him through that personality. Whereas for an ordinary person, it is all driven by his intuition, his karma, whatever comes, he'll be doing, he'll be experimenting. But for pure devotees, it is all guidance of the Lord directly. This already Krishna has mentioned this in the 6th chapter. Right? Chitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahitaha. When the practitioner, yogi has controlled his mind, Paramatma will give directions to him what to do. Lord is waiting to give directions. It's only that we need to be ready to take directions. If you are not ready, then Lord is also very neutral. Yes, you exercise your free will. I'll facilitate whatever you want. Krishna is waiting. So this is the 4 essential verses which Krishna spoke. After hearing these 4 essential verses, now Arjuna starts speaking. Next few verses which we are going to discuss today, from verse 12 to 18, 7 verses. Arjuna speaks his realization about whatever he has heard from Krishna so far. Right? It's a very wonderful revelation he is making. Arjuna Uvacha, verse number 12 and 13 together. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum, Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve, Devarshir Naradas Tatha, Asito Devalo Vyasaha, Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. So here, Arjuna is declaring some truths, tattva of Krishna. Tattva means they are all facts. They are all Vedic truths as confirmed in the Vedic literatures, as confirmed by the great authorities. Right? Prabhupada says each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction. This is how Vedas are. Even Lord Krishna, when he is speaking something, we have been saying from the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, if you refer to the verse number 16 of 2nd chapter, Krishna speaks about 2 aspects, Sat and Asat. Right? Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sataha. He says, the Sat is enduring. It's going to last. Asat means the temporary thing will not endure. This, the seers of truth have confirmed by studying the nature of both. Which means Krishna is referring to authorities again. Right? And we'll see similar references Krishna gives throughout the Gita in various contexts, which means Krishna also is conforming to the standards of Vedic principles. He says in 3rd chapter again, if I don't abide by the rules and regulations, even though I don't need to follow any rules, but I follow. Why? Because people may simply make an accusation, but I am not following. For the reason of common man, I also follow the Vedic rules. Because Krishna is above Vedic rules, but he also follows. To set a proper example. So here, my main point was to impress upon all of you that whatever is spoken in the by the authorities, when Krishna or the great sages or pure devotee like Arjuna, they are all confirmed, or rather they are all statements as per the Vedic injunctions. Nothing is speculative or nothing is imaginary. Oh, I think so, perhaps it may be. No such ambiguities. All facts, as Prabhupada says in one of the teachings in Bhagavad Gita, all these aspects are actually concrete truths. So there is something known as existential truth, which means This truth is existing. Whether you believe or not believe, it is there. Just because you are not able to understand or you are not able to comprehend doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just like the science has proven that there is a spectrum of electromagnetic waves. Some range of these waves only we are able to see or experience or sense it. There are so many other frequencies which you cannot even sense it. Doesn't mean they don't exist. They do exist, but you are not qualified to sense them or detect them. Right? So likewise, the existential truths about Krishna is known as Krishna Tattva. Likewise, there are existential truths about Radharani, Radha Tattva. And there are existential truths about the spiritual world, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha. They're called Dhama Tattva. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met one great devotee by name Ramananda Rai in South India, when he was on South Indian tour, he discussed all these tattvas, Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, Dhama Tattva, Rasa Tattva. So all Tattva means truths, which is facts. Right? So Krishna is presenting a gist or a small hint of these truths in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So it is left to us to experiment or research or whatever you want to do. Best will be to accept them as it is. That is called descending process. There are two ways we can accept the facts. Either you want to experiment it, research it, verify it, then confirm it. That is called ascending process, which the scientists are doing right now. All the great thinkers are doing right now. But our process of understanding is accept the truth as it is. Then further revelation of the various details of the truth will be revealed to us as we move forward in the process of devotion. That is the process. That is the way we accept the truths in Bhagavad Gita. Just like we don't want to experiment, man is mortal or immortal. We accept from the statement of Bhagavad Gita, yes, actually as spirit soul, we are all immortal. Right? So these are very, the second chapter is all full of Jiva Tattva, Atma Tattva. Tattva means truth. So here, Arjuna is expressing what he has understood about Krishna Tattva. What is the truth about Krishna? What is he? Param Brahma. Brahma means the greatest, the biggest, the most, the grandest. He says Krishna is that personality who is the biggest, who is the greatest. Brahman in Sanskrit basically means the greatest, biggest, or the spirit, supreme spirit. So Krishna is Param Brahma and he is Param Dhama, supreme abode. Means that is the ultimate destination we have to go. Anywhere you go, finally you have to go there. Anywhere you simply, it will be temporary sort of a makeshift arrangement for you. Param Brahma, Param Dhava, Pavitram Paramam. He is the supreme purest. Right? Purest means we have understood in the 9th chapter beginning. Krishna was explaining about the qualification of pure devotional service. Pavitram. Because the material world, everything is contaminated. Right? Krishna's personality is supremely pure. Anything who comes in contact with Krishna or anybody who comes in contact with Krishna will become pure. Example is given of sun, sunshine. Sunshine is falling on even the most dirtiest place where somebody has urinated and somebody has done a lot of dirty things. That also sun will purify and the place becomes disinfected. Krishna is that supreme pure. It's called Apapa Vidham. Nothing can contaminate him. This is Vedic statement. So Krishna is the supreme pure. Right? He's the supreme abode. He is the supreme purest personality, and Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. He is a person, Shashvata person, eternal, absolute truth. He is everything and he is a personality. It is something which an ordinarily a person cannot comprehend. Oh, he can do this also, he can do that also. Yes, he can do everything. That is how it is. He is all powerful. He is a person. He is an absolute person, which means there is no such absolute meaning. He has no such relativities like we. I am existing because my mother gave birth to me. Relative. Krishna is independently standing in his existence. That is called absoluteness. And he is a truth. Absolute truth. Shashvatam, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam. Divyam again means he is not of this understanding of this material world. He is transcendental. He is divine. Adi Devam. Adi Devam, Krishna also explained in the third verse of this chapter. If you see, Evam Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha Vetiloka Maheshwaram. Adi. Right? Adi means he is the origin of everything and there is no other origin for him. Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Repetition is there. So Arjuna is expressing his realization of Krishna, that Krishna is that personality who is the original personality, who is unborn, who is the greatest personality, who is Param Brahma. He is supreme abode, supreme greatest personality. He is that Purusha. This is the glorification a devotee will come to when he has realized Krishna. Otherwise, in the material realm, we try to glorify somebody, whatever our experience, it goes. Okay, this person must be great. At different times, different people become great. Right? But Krishna is that person who is always great. Right? We have understood in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita's instructions. Krishna is addressed as Bhagavan. Why Bhagavan? Because he has 6 opulences in full. That's why he is known as Bhagavan. Okay. So here, when Arjuna says, Krishna, this is your tattva, truth about you. Your supreme Brahman, your supreme abode, your supreme purest. You are the all absolute truth, your divine eternal person, you are the original person. All these things, not I am telling because I am your friend. No. All these things are confirmed by not only me, it is confirmed by great authorities. He mentions different sages' name. Devarshi Narada. There is one sage by name Asita. Devala Rishi, Vyasa Rishi. Like this, all are telling about your personality. And you yourself have told me all these things just now. You see. So, there are ample evidence for me, Krishna. Great sages have told about this. And you yourself have spoken. And I have confirmed with my study of Vedic scriptures. This is how I have come to this conclusion. Right? So, this is called perfect knowledge. Prabhupada is speaking about perfect knowledge since a few verses in this chapter. What is perfect knowledge or perfect learning? When you come to understand that Krishna is everything, right? And nothing beyond Krishna. So this is the statement. Very nicely Prabhupada makes in one of our scriptures, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. He makes a nice statement. Krishna is everything and nothing beyond Krishna, right? So everything is, whatever you see is Krishna's manifestation. So all energy is a statement in Vedas called Sarvam Khalo Idam Brahma. Means everything is Krishna's energies. So all this Arjuna is able to realize. Why? Because he is in a proper state of devotion to Krishna. He's a devotee of Krishna. So when you are a devotee of Krishna, what does Krishna say? In the 4 verses we heard, Chatushloki Gita. Krishna removes the ignorance from our heart. He shines knowledge in our heart. So with the grace of Krishna, Arjuna is able to realize all these things. And Prabhupada is making this wonderful realization, or other expression, the understanding to us that Bhagavad Gita should be understood like this. To understand Bhagavad Gita, you should accept the statements of pure devotees like Arjuna. Very important. We cannot understand Bhagavad Gita on our own. We have to understand through devotees. Otherwise, we will misunderstand. This is called Parampara system, which Krishna already has mentioned in the 4th chapter. Evam Parampara Praptam. Acceptance of disciplic succession. Guru Parampara. Right? So, Prabhupada very nicely makes a statement. Unless one accepts the Parampara system, one cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Simply by your academic scholarship. Oh, I have studied Gita thoroughly in my own way. I'll take out some other meaning from the teachings of Gita, or I will bring this evidence, this evidence. So many podcasts are all going on about Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, all from academic point of view. But none of those podcasts is establishing the fact that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. They're only seeing Krishna like, he's an ordinary person. Somebody shared a link for a podcast about Krishna. The 1.5 hour podcast it is. I listened a little just to see what is the what does he want to say. He's referring Krishna like an ordinary person. He passed away in the year so and so BC. Is like this, for them understanding is Krishna is a historical person. Krishna is a great person. Maybe he's an extraordinary person with some powers that the people misunderstand. But Krishna is none of them. Krishna is Supreme Personality. He is not a person like us. Prabhupada, that's why in the beginning of his purport of these 2 verses, he says, in these 2 verses, the Supreme Lord gives a chance to the modern philosopher. Right? What does philosophy mean? Go on analyzing. What is the truth? What is the fact? Philosophy. Philosophy means liking for truth. For here it is clear that the Supreme is different from the individual soul. Very clear. Just these 2 verses you take, analyze carefully. Clearly you can see that Lord Krishna is different from us. Our body is not Shashvata, it is Ashashvata. Right? And we are not Adi Deva. We have a father, mother. Right? Anything you apply, we are all nothing. Excuse me. So, these are the facts Arjuna has realized, and he is expressing them very nicely in these 2 verses. And he's telling it's not only my statements, all these facts are ascertained or confirmed with the Vedic injunctions. It is how the Vedic knowledge is presented. Prabhupada also, whenever he used to speak, used to quote from Bhagavad Gita, from Vedic scriptures. The Prabhupada says always in the law court, when the lawyer is giving a reference, past reference of some previous judgment or some specific clause of the law, his case becomes very strong. Otherwise, simply, I'm logically presenting these things. I feel like this. That doesn't stand in the law court. Right? So, likewise, Prabhupada says, all of us have to understand Bhagavad Gita in this way, like a lawyer. Like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this is the fact. Whether you accept or not, it is left to you. But truth is this. Prabhupada never compromised on this. Always he spoke the truth. Okay, next verse. Now Arjuna is further expressing his realization. He says, verse 14, Sarvam etad dhrutam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danava. Now Arjuna's next symptom of surrender is, Krishna, whatever you have said, I will totally accept it as truth. Sarvam etad dhrutam manye. This is the quality of a disciple. A disciple means whatever Guru has said, I will totally accept in toto. Nothing that, I will, this portion I will accept, this I will not accept. Arjuna surrendered to Krishna as a disciple, right? In 2nd chapter, we have seen beginning. Shishyasteham shadi mam tvam prapannam. Krishna, I am surrendering to you as a disciple, please accept me as your student and guide me. I am very confused. The student's important qualification is whatever Guru says, he has to accept everything as truth. This is very important. Not having doubt whether Prabhupada said this, it's a fact. I verify. Right? When in 1960s, when Prabhupada was in America, 1967, 68, something, that time, there was a moon landing expedition in America, right? Which NASA sent a moon. There's a shuttle, space shuttle to moon. It's a big news. Right? Prabhupada that time only said they have never gone to moon. And a few of the his very initial disciples, one or two disciples became very upset. How can you say Prabhupada is all scientific? You see, there is a nice video from moon. Neil Armstrong is waving the flag, American flag. How can you say not landed? Prabhupada said, see, whatever you may say, but whatever they are showing is all is a studio recording. They have recorded this, and as per Bhagavata scriptures, going to moon is not like this, not easy. Ravana also wanted to build a staircase to go to heaven. He was not successful. Ravana, so powerful, he was not successful. You are small, tiny scientists, you will be successful. Going to moon requires qualification, and moon is far beyond than sun. Prabhupada, a lot of logic he gave based on scriptures. Right? So, that initial disciples, 2, 3 were very upset, and one of them left also because he was not agreeing. So, Prabhupada was very strong. No, this is how it is. And Prabhupada repeated this. When reporters used to ask, what is your opinion about moon landing? Prabhupada said it's simply a waste of money. It's childish. Boldly Prabhupada used to say in America. This is the authenticity with which Prabhupada used to speak. Because he was speaking from Vedic truths. Vedic truths are there. Nobody can argue on that point. So this is how the disciple determination should be. His disposition should be like this. I fully accept as truth what is mentioned in by Guru Sadhu Shastra. So Arjuna is showing that quality of a disciple. Krishna, whatever you have said, I accept it as truth. Sarvam etad ritam manye. Ritam means truth. I don't doubt about your statements. I fully accept as truth. That is called Shraddha. Faith. Strong implicit faith. And Krishna, actually nobody knows you. Even the ordinary people, demonic nature people, they can't even know you. And even Devatas cannot know you. Vidur Deva na Danava. Krishna has said this about at the beginning of this chapter only. Name Vidur Suragana. Right? So even Devatas don't know you. And what about great scholars? Nobody knows you. So here, indirectly, Arjuna is feeling very fortunate that I am blessed that I am knowing you, Krishna. And why? Because Arjuna is a pure devotee. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Krishna said, Krishna, Arjuna, you are a pure devotee and my dear friend. That's why I have chosen you to be the recipient of this knowledge of Gita. Which means Krishna's revelation of truth to any sincere devotee will be possible only when Krishna wishes to give this knowledge to him. So Arjuna was chosen. So we have to follow in the footsteps of Arjuna, Prabhupada says. The way Arjuna accepted, whatever Krishna said, I'll accept as truth. And there is no second thought about it. Krishna has said this, that's it, that is fact. Krishna says, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava. Mahashano mahapapma vidyena mahavayirinam. Third chapter, Krishna says, this lust, anger are your biggest enemies. I accept as truth. No, I don't experiment now. Little lust is there, okay. Krishna says, if you eat prasadam of mine, you will be free from all sins. I accept as truth. I will not touch bhoga. This is the determination a devotee has. So Prabhupada says, the acceptance of Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Emulated means this is the way you should follow in his footsteps. Should follow in his, take this example of Arjuna and follow in his footsteps. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Then only we can understand that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Right? This is the way we can understand. It is the secret. It's like, a key to open a big treasure house of knowledge. Secret is, first of all, having that strong faith. Whatever Krishna has spoken, whatever my Guru has spoken is fact, is truth. That implicit faith you should have. Only then the knowledge will be revealed to us. So Arjuna is showing us the example. What is the qualification of a student, a disciple, devotee of Krishna, how he should be. So Krishna chose Arjuna as the recipient of this knowledge to continue the parampara, and we should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. Right? Next, Arjuna is further expressing his realization. He says, Swayam evatmanatmanam, this is verse 15. Swayam evatmanatmanam vethatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. In this verse, Arjuna is glorifying Krishna with 5 different names. Purushottama, greatest of all persons. Then Bhuta Bhavana, he is the origin of everything. Bhuta Bhavana. Bhuta means living entities. He is the origin of everything. Bhuta, Pancha Bhuta. And we are also called Jiva Bhuta. He is the origin of everything. Bhutesha, he is the Lord of everything. Deva Deva, he is Lord of all Devatas. And Jagatpate, Jagannatha, he is the Lord of the universe. Okay. So, Arjuna is telling, Krishna, actually, nobody can know you, only you yourself can know yourself. Swayam evatman atmanam vethatvam purushottama. So, the reason why Arjuna is telling this is, knowing Krishna is not easy. Krishna himself has declared in 7th chapter, if you remember, even the greatest people, even the people who have attained perfection, siddhi, manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. One who has attained perfection, perfection means, oh, I know what is the purpose of life, I know what I should do in my life, what is truth, I am searching. Some level of perfection they have achieved. Krishna says, even amongst those people who achieved some level of perfection, hardly anyone knows me in truth. It means knowing Krishna is not easy. So, Arjuna is trying to tell us here that only Krishna you can know yourself, or your pure devotees who have completely surrendered to you. This is what Krishna repeats again and again in the whole Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only way to know Krishna is through pure devotion to him. Right? So only pure devotees can reveal the knowledge about Krishna. Otherwise, knowing Krishna is impossible. Right? Because Krishna is, as Krishna says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita. Right? So, Krishna already has declared for the demoniac people, for impersonalists, for atheists, for a common man, Krishna is always covered. He is not seen. Right? He'll only be visible, or rather he'll be manifest to pure devotees. Swayam evas pratyadaha. Atha Shri Krishna namadi nabhavet grahim indriyai. Our blunt senses cannot see Krishna, understand Krishna. When Krishna himself reveals, we can see him, or we can. So basically, Arjuna is indirectly telling us here that any amount of your academic qualifications of thoroughly I know Gita, every shloka, I can comment also, that doesn't qualify you to know Krishna. What is required is mercy of a pure devotee. Very important. This fact is revealed every now and then in Bhagavad Gita. Mercy of a pure devotee who is so confidential to Krishna, he can reveal Krishna to you. Right? So, because Bhagavad Gita, as Krishna says, it is yoga, science of knowledge of Krishna, it should be understood in parampara. Parampara means succession of pure devotees. Right? It cannot be haphazardly understood. So here, very nicely, logically, Arjuna is explaining, right? You may be following some path of spiritual discipline like yoga, jnana, some other path. You may come to some level of perfection, just like jnanis may come to realize up to the point of impersonal Brahman, right? Or yogis may realize the Paramatma feature. It's again one more realization of Krishna. But Krishna as such, understanding him is not easy, right? So here, it's what Arjuna is trying to tell us here. To understand Krishna as he is standing in front of Arjuna, know that Krishna is not easy. That will be more nicely explained in the next chapter, 11th chapter. But here, Arjuna is hinting out to us, knowing Krishna as he is not easy. Further, Prabhupada explains, they may know Krishna to some level, or they may know even Krishna as Supreme Person, Purushottama, right? But even then, they will not know that Krishna is Supreme Controller, right? Bhutesha. Like Prabhupada goes on to explain how there are so many truths about Krishna. See, again, all the different aspects Arjuna is mentioning about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, is all truths. Like we understood in 12th, 13th verse. He is Purushottama, the best of the persons. And we have understood about one more word called Naradhama, right? In 7th chapter. Naradhama means lowest of mankind. Krishna is the best of the humans, best of everybody. Right? Purushottama, Bhuta Bhavana, he is the origin of everything. Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. Bhuta means Pancha Bhuta, Jiva Bhuta, all of them. All of us have origin from Krishna. Right? This one may not know. Or he may know that we are all originating from Krishna, but he may not know Krishna is controlling everything. Bhutesha. He may know that also. He may not know that Krishna is the master of all devatas also. Just like we see the pastime of Govardhana Puja. Indra misunderstood Krishna to be ordinary person. He sent lot of clouds to punish the Vrajavasis. So that, because they didn't worship him. Later on, he realized, oh, what a big blunder I have done. Devatas also don't know. So Krishna is controlling devatas also. Ekale Ishvare Krishna Ara Sabha Bhritya. Chaitanya Charitam says, Krishna is the only master. Ekale Ishwar. Ar Sabha Bhritya. Everybody are his servants. He is the Deva Deva. This particular name of Krishna, Deva Deva, right, is being repeated many times in the next chapter. Deva Devesha is mentioned. Devesha, Deva Deva. Very nice. We'll see a lot of glorification of Krishna in this chapter and next chapter. Very wonderful. So Deva Deva and Jagatpati. Jagat means which is constantly moving, constantly changing. He is the master of this Jagat. That's why it's Jagannatha, who is constantly moving, changing things, the material in this whole universe. Krishna. It is going through cycles of creation, maintenance, annihilation, and changing constantly. Constantly, the configuration keeps changing. That's called Jagat. Krishna is Jagannatha, or as in this verse, Arjuna is saying, Jagatpate. So like this, Prabhupada goes on to explain, truth about Krishna is so intricate that unless you are pure devotee of Krishna, these truths are not revealed by Krishna to the devotee. And through the pure devotees, we have to understand Krishna. Krishna is Purushottama, Krishna is Bhuta Bhavana, Krishna is Bhutesha, Krishna is Deva Deva, Krishna is Jagatpate. Prabhupada says, that's the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by realization of Arjuna. Arjuna, through his realization, is expressing his tattva, Krishna tattva, what he knows. And we should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is. You see, we cannot speculate who is Krishna. So when you go before Krishna, all these teachings of Gita should be coming in your background. Oh, Krishna is Bhuta Bhavana, Krishna is Purushottama, Krishna is Jagatpate. Because every name of Krishna has a big meaning. Right? Deva Deva means he is the Devata of all he is the Lord of all the Devatas. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Because there are so many Ishvaras in the material world. Right? Different Devatas are all called Ishvaras. Ishvara means controller. Amongst all the controllers, Krishna is supreme controller. All Devatas are just following his orders. Sun is going in orbit. Sun God is going in orbit. Why? Because out of fear of Krishna. The air, maruts are blowing because they are afraid of Krishna. Right? Like this, there are statements in Bhagavatam. All the different devatas are functioning. Why? Because they are afraid of Krishna. If I don't follow my duty, Krishna will, punish me. Right? Just like in office, manager is seeing you are not working properly, he will penalize you. So they're all working under Krishna's orders. They're all doing their functions, respective functions. So this is the realization Arjuna is very nicely expressing here. Truth about Krishna. Again, I told you. Krishna Tattva. Right? Krishna Tattva is being described in these various statements. So Arjuna expressed Krishna Tattva in 12:13. That's Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. And this truth, not only I am telling, is accepted by all authorities, great sages like Narada, Asita, Vyasa. And this I accept it as truth, as it is. And Krishna, you are Purushottama, you are Deva Deva, you are Bhutesha, Bhuta Bhavana, you are Jagatpate. Now, verse 16, Arjuna says, Vaktum arhas asheshena divyahi atma vibhutaya yavir vibhutivir lokan imam stvam vyapya tishtasi. Now, Arjuna is having one more request. Please tell me in detail your vibhuti. Vibhuti means opulences, your divine powers, by which you are present everywhere. Some aspects Krishna has explained from chapter 7 onwards. We have heard Krishna says, I am the taste in water. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the light of the sun and the moon. Right? I am the strength in the humans. I am the Omkara, Shabda. Right? Like this, Krishna has mentioned many things in 7th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter. But Arjuna wanted to know more. Why? Because Prabhupada explained, simply saying God is great is not enough. You should know details of his greatness. Then your devotion to Krishna will be more fixed up. You'll be more determined to follow Krishna's path of devotion. So here Arjuna is requesting Krishna, I want to know in detail about your Vibhuti. That's why this chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga. Opulence. Vibhuti means opulences. In what way you are manifesting, what way you are everywhere present in this material world. And how you are situated in them. Right? So basically, by Krishna's mercy, Arjuna already has realized Krishna's position as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So all these wonderful realizations Arjuna has expressed so far, it only shows how Krishna's blessings have been upon Arjuna so wonderfully. So, but now, for Arjuna's sake, there is no problem, but he's worried about common men. In the future, there will be people who, because they may misunderstand Krishna's position, because now the conversation is happening between me and Arjuna, like me and Krishna, Arjuna is thinking. They may think this conversation is just like a friend to friend talking. That's why, after asking for the opulences, in the next chapter he says, you please show these opulences. The exhibition of these opulences is what is known as Virata Rupa. How these opulences are all manifesting in this whole, I want to see. Now Krishna will explain, I am this, I am that. Right? The biggest and greatest, I am that. The Himalaya, I am. right? The biggest shark, I am. I am the ocean. I am this. I am that. Like this, Krishna gives details of more than 80 different, descriptions. Later on, we'll see. Krishna told. Now Arjuna want to see practically, right? So then he says, "Show me your Vishwarupa." Then Krishna shows Vishwarupa. That is 7th chapter. Okay. So here, Arjuna is preparing the background now. In the future, people may misunderstand, especially there will be some impersonalists or some sort of atheists who will question the very authority of Krishna. Or they may come up with the idea that I am God. Nowadays, so many people are telling, oh, I am God, worship me. No power, but they want to show themselves as God. Prabhupada gave 2 challenges. If you're telling yourself as God, first thing is show your Vishwarupa. If you can't show your Vishwarupa, I kick on your face. You're not a God. Next is, you at least lift Govardhana hill and show me. Both of them you cannot do, then what you're telling you are God? Prabhupada says you can't even lift 15 kilo bag. You have a trolley wheel for that. And telling again, I am God. So these are all farce. So Krishna is that personality who is not only expressing himself and telling about his opulences, he is that personality who is exhibiting all of them. So on behalf of the common men like us, Arjuna is trying to elicit some wonderful response from Krishna by asking this request, by making this request to Krishna. Krishna, please tell me in detail how your opulences are pervading everywhere, how you are present everywhere. I want to understand. Why this question is, again, 17th verse, Arjuna is telling, Katham vidyam aham yogims tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. So how should I meditate on you, Krishna? In what various forms are you to be contemplated? Please tell me. This question of Arjuna, or this request of Arjuna, is not for himself. It is for us. Arjuna is playing the role of a common man on behalf of us, because Arjuna already is a pure devotee. For him, already is fully realized. We saw his realization just now from verse 13 to 16. Right? Wonderful realizations. But he wants all of us, common men, to come to the level of pure devotion. This is the qualification, or this is the wonderful quality of a Vaishnava. Prabhupada says, a superior devotee is not only concerned of his own understanding, but for the understanding of all mankind. If Prabhupada wanted, okay, now I have realized Krishna, let me be in Vrindavan and, okay, do my devotion, bhakti, go back to Godhead. But Prabhupada, in that old age of 70 years, he left Vrindavan, he went all over the world, traveled, and he spread Krishna consciousness. Because their important quality is compassion. It is said, devotees are more compassionate than Krishna. Right? They want to save other devotees by giving message of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, don't go to non-devotees. Don't go to people who are envious and preach to them. But devotees take risk and go. Because they are compassionate. So this is the compassion we can see in Arjuna here, that Arjuna is opening the understanding for all of us common people. What is the all-pervasiveness of Krishna, right? And he wants to make us understand, because right now, for me, I don't have love for Krishna. I don't have so much devotion to Krishna. Little maybe some devotion is there, but not that I can think of Krishna 24 hours. As Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. 24 hours, no. While chanting also, sometimes I remember only. That is how my level is right now. But so Arjuna wants that the materialistic people or common people like us, how can they understand Krishna in a spiritual way, in a devotional way, how they can elevate themselves to a devotional platform, right? So he's asking practical question. You please tell Krishna how, by seeing things, big or some special things in this world, how they can remember you. Just like Krishna has hinted something in 7th chapter. Taste in water, light in sun and moon. But they may not be enough. Sometimes people go to destinations nowadays. I want to travel to Thailand. I want to travel to Singapore. I want to travel to Europe. Why? Oh, beautiful, wonderful places, scenery, all these things. Krishna says those things only now. Anything scenic, anything beautiful, anything opulent, anything wonderful, anything gigantic is I am. This is what Krishna is going to speak now. So Arjuna's this question is to again see everything from Krishna's point of view. Right? How Krishna is physically manifesting wonderful things. You see a beautiful bird with its beautiful colors and very symmetrically arranged, different patterns of feathers. It looks as though somebody has painted it. Who has done this? Krishna has done this. Right? Like this, there are wonderful statements in the scriptures about the beautiful creation around us. This beautiful creation, Krishna is Krishna's brain working. Right? Like this, we have to understand from Bhagavad Gita's point of view. This was the question of Arjuna, request of Arjuna. Krishna, please let me know how you are manifesting in all this world in a different way. All your opulences, how they are manifesting. Just like when you go to a big man, he will say, I have about Ratan Tata, we are hearing how he has factories in Kenya, in some South Asian countries, in India, so many other verticals of this hospitality business, that industry, this industry, automobile, so many things. Oh, opulence. We become, oh, so much he has done. He's acquired this company, he acquired Jaguar, which is actually was unheard of. Like this, oh, opulence. We appreciate. So because we don't know about Krishna's opulence, we take things, okay, it's all there. It's very nice, scenic. But behind that scenic, beautiful thing, who has created that? Who has made that is the question. Right? So Krishna is going to explain those things now. So now Arjuna is going to conclude here with 18th verse. Visteranatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah kataya triptirhi shrunvato nasti me mritam. He says, Krishna, why I am asking you this? It looks like a repetition. Again, I am asking you to tell me in detail, because your potencies, your glory is vibhutim. How much ever I hear, I am not satisfied. I am never tired of hearing your ambrosial words, because anything about you, Krishna, your descriptions, your glorifications, your wonderful pastimes, your activities are ever fresh. They are like nectar. Just like, every year during Ram Navami time, Navratra time, we have Ram Lila. Especially in North India, it's all very nicely organized. We know Ramayana story, but again and again, we want to hear, because it is never boring. We know every sequence, what will happen next, but again, we want to sit and hear and listen. That's how Krishna's pastimes are. Why? Because Krishna's various incarnations, the Leelas, are all like nectar. Prabhupada explains how this nectar is. What is nectar means? In the material subject matter or material, say fiction, modern day movies, modern day stories, some historical incident, what has happened, they're all, you may hear once or twice, one hit movie. I would have seen once, twice. I heard there was one movie from Shah Rukh Khan, Bajigar, right? One person watched it every day for 365 days, 1 year. After that, he was sent to mental hospital. So, like this, you can say, you can maybe challenge the thing and do something. But Krishna's Leelas are not like that. It's like we're chanting every day Hare Krishna. Oh, chanting is 10 years. So chanting for so much time, yes. How Krishna's every chant of Krishna, name of Krishna, Krishna's Leelas are all so nectarian. The material aspect of material things, anything, it may be name, it may be some film, it may be some subject matter. It all has some rasa in it for some time. After that, no rasa, no taste. There's some level of satiation. With Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Leela, how much ever time you go visit, like we visit temple every day. Prabhupada says, Vrindavan, there's a system. Many devotees here visit every day different temples. Not that it is boring for them. For them, every time they see Krishna in a different alankar, different feature, different reciprocation. Nava Nava Rasa. Newer and newer experiences they're realizing every time they see Krishna. Every time they chant Hare Krishna, they're feeling that newer, because Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. He is the deep ocean of all the different tastes, with unlimited tastes. More you associate with him, more he will reciprocate with you in newer and newer and newer rasas. Whereas the material relations, material stories, material fictions are all saturated, satiated with one level. After that, you don't want to go. Acha, that place already I've gone. Over. I've squeezed out rasa from that place. Krishna is not like that. Krishna is anything connected with Krishna is amrita, nectar. Right? So that's why Arjuna is telling, I want to hear more and more about this Krishna because I am not tired of hearing. So this is the one symptom of advancement of a devotee. While chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you are not feeling tired, or you're not looking at your watch again and again. My chanting, when it will get over? Right? Don't see the watch. And you're chanting and you're just hearing, and the chanting and hearing is giving you, Krishna is giving you so much of joy. Not that you're getting, you don't want to, in devotional service, what we do is, we take pleasure by giving pleasure. This is called devotional service or spiritual way of taking pleasure. We take pleasure by giving pleasure. In the material world, it's the other way around. We take pleasure by exploiting other person. Whether that person is happy or no, I don't bother. I am happy. Oh, that is material way of life. In spirituality, what happens is, we only want to give pleasure to Krishna, even it may be materially discomfort situation for me. Material discomfort because I'm not mature enough to understand how it is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur Acharya says, even the greatest dukkha is a source of pleasure for a pure devotee. Right? These are the statements. It's like Kunti Maharani says, Krishna, please give us more and more trouble. Right? Nobody goes to Krishna and prays, no. Krishna, today, my neighbor fought with me. You make all the neighbors fight with me. Hare Krishna. But nobody prays. Today I have one disease. Tomorrow, give me 10 more diseases. Nobody prays like that. You go to Krishna and pray, solve all my problems. But Kunti is praying, Vipadaha Santuta Shashva Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. Krishna, give us more troubles. Because more trouble means we can remember you. And more remembrance of you means, you're always with us. Yes, see, this is pure devotees' way of seeing things. So like this, pure devotees always want to have Krishna's association. Not simply, I'm done. So my point was, while chanting, if you're not seeing your watch and you're not feeling burdened and you're actually relishing the whole, process of chanting or the devotional service of chanting, then your one level of advancement has happened. Or you're feeling burdensome. Oh, when every time you're lifting the mala and saying, oh, still so many beats you have to chant. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. As though it is, it's not Preeti Purvaka. It is Bala Purvaka. Pushing. Mala is not going only. Time also is not going forward. Mala also is not going forward. Big headache. That type of devotional service Krishna doesn't want. Krishna wants Preeti Purvaka. Preeti Purvaka means very happily, willingly, voluntarily. That's what Krishna says in verse number 10. Preeti Purvaka. Everything we do should be with Preeti, with a lot of heart, with a lot of, love we should do. Okay, this is the conclusion. So we'll see from verse 19, Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Vacha, what he says about his opulence is wonderful. More than 80 different ways Krishna expresses himself. Okay, fine. I'll conclude here. Anybody, anything to discuss, ask, or comment? I'll open the platform for questions. So I request all of you to read these 18 verses nicely. Right? So we are going to the next level of Bhagavad Gita's understanding. It requires your involvement. Otherwise, I'll be talking, but you should also get involved in understanding and absorbing things. Otherwise, it will be one-sided. Bhakti should be two-way traffic. Even hearing should be two-way traffic. Means I speak, you hear, and you also relate with it. Otherwise, it will be like sitting and nothing is going, nothing able to understand. It is not good. Okay, so it requires your involvement. That's why Krishna says in the 10th verse now, if you are sincerely trying to understand, Krishna will help you to understand. If you not put your endeavor to understand, where it will happen? Gita, Bhagavad Gita as it is will be as it is. You will be sitting as it is. No. You should get involved. Okay, Krishna, I want to learn this as it is. As you're telling. You put your efforts. Every day read. At least, read 4 or 5 verses every day. Then you'll see how Krishna will reciprocate. Okay, so I'll close here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.